Open up the podcast app, you tap share episode, you're going to be able to share using the share sheet with the Messages app. And once you send that message, the recipient is going to be able to play that back inline within the Messages app. There's also a new podcast widget that's similar to the music app widget. If you 3D touch on the podcast app icon, you can see all of your recently played podcasts and tap one of those to quickly play or resume your podcast. You can also swipe over to Notification Center and view the podcast widget there. And again, like the music app, this allows you to quickly play back episodes right from the convenience of Notification Center. Rent Once, Watch Anywhere is a new feature that allows you to rent iTunes movies from any of your iCloud connected devices and watch them on any of those devices. Now, you will have to be running the latest software, for instance, the latest version of iTunes or the latest version of tvOS on your Apple TV. But if you have those things taken care of, it works very well. And in iOS 10.3, you have this, the 32-bit app warning. This warning serves to notify users and developers for that matter that if their apps aren't compiled for 64-bit, then it will not work in future versions of iOS. When you zoom in on the Maps app, you'll notice this little current temperature icon. If you 3D touch on that, peek and pop all the way into it, it's going to open up the weather app and then you'll be prompted to add that location to your list. Now 10.3 also updates the Spotlight search history cells. Try to say that 3 times fast, but notice those cells now match the look of the rest of the Spotlight search interface with the rounded rectangles, so it's just for the look, but it looks nice. So the Settings app in iOS 10.3 got a little overhaul. At the very top, you see your iCloud information, including your name with your photo there, which is really nice because it's right front and center at the top. And then inside that section, when you tap on it, you have all of your details for your iCloud, iTunes, and App Store and all your devices. If you tap on iCloud, you can actually see a little graph that lays out your current iCloud storage space situation, and that's nice to have there. You can tap on that, of course, to get more granular details. And this section is also where you can manage all of your devices like your iPhone or your Apple TV or your iPad or your MacBook. You can go in there, see their serial numbers, see their current version number, and even remove them from your account if you wish to do so. So very helpful little section at the top of the Settings app in 10.3. With iOS 10.3, CarPlay receives a significant update. You have this quick switcher in the status bar that allows you to switch easily between an entertainment app, between a communication app, and between a navigation app. Now, the only real apps that can switch in and out are the entertainment and communication apps because navigation, of course, defaults to the stock Maps app. CarPlay also gains the ability to navigate to a full album by simply tapping the album link while listening to a track. So once you do that, you can see the full list of all the tracks contained within that album and then play one of those tracks. And then one last CarPlay update, you can now access your Up Next playlist by tapping the Up Next button in the upper right hand corner, and this allows you to skip directly to another track in the playlist in a non-contiguous manner. This is new. Give me the latest Indian Premier League scores.
Here are the scores from the IPL between May 25th, 2016 and May 29th, 2000.
You can also say something like this. Give me the latest ICC scores.
Here are the scores from the ICC between last Friday and last Sunday.
So our friends in India will definitely appreciate that addition. App Store reviews received a lot of love in iOS 10.3. Now you can actually determine whether or not a review is helpful. So all you need to do is 3D touch on the review that you read, and then you can select whether it was helpful, not helpful, or you can report a concern. I'm going to say this review was helpful. And then you get some nice visual feedback to let you know your submission took place. Apple has also alleviated some of the friction involved with writing reviews. So now you can just tap Write Review and submit a review like that without having to log in to provide your iTunes credentials, as long as you own the app. Also now developers can respond to reviews in iOS 10.3, and also there's a new store kit that allows developers to prompt for reviews within the app. iOS 10.3 also brings about custom home screen app icons, so developers can implement this within their app, as has been done with the MLB app, so I can switch the icon just like that to my favorite team, and it's done. And if you want to switch back, you can do so right within the app as well. Reset, tap OK to confirm, and you're back to the original app icon. Now, of course, one of the headlining features in iOS 10.3 is the presence of Find My AirPods inside the Find My iPhone app. So This feature allows you to locate your AirPods on a map. You can actually locate each individual AirPod, and you can make each individual AirPod emit a sound so you can find the one you're looking for. So if you're looking for the left one, you can mute the right AirPod and vice versa. So I'm going to mute the left one in this example, and let's hear how it sounds. Now this feature does work a little bit different than Find My iPhone, but check out the full tutorial over at 9to5Mac for all the details. When you first install iOS 10.3, you're going to be prompted to share your iPhone analytics with Apple. Now this is used to improve products and services like Siri, for instance. Now all data that is collected uses differential privacy, and we've walked through exactly what that means over at 9to5Mac. Basically, it makes it so that your account can't be identified by the data collected. When you installed iOS 10.3, you may have noticed that it took a little longer than your typical iOS update. That's because it was converting the old HFS Plus file system to the new APFS file system. This is a modern file system that's more ideal for the type of storage used on today's computing platforms. Of course, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Read more about APFS over at 9to5Mac. Now, iOS 10.3 unlocks access to the new Classroom 2.0 app. This new app, which we've walked through already, you can check out the video, link down below in the description, but it allows teachers to set up classes for students manually, so you don't actually have to have an MDM set up. You can go in here, add a teacher, set up a class, and then students that are nearby on your network can join your class with ease. As we already have walked through with the Classroom app, this allows you to view your student's screen, for instance, or launch particular apps on your student's screen at the same time. So if you have a course syllabus that you want the whole class to look at simultaneously, you can do it with the press of a button. And the last thing we'll talk about briefly is the updated Apple TV remote app. It now has iPad support, along with updated Now Playing features that allow you to do things like view lyrics, and also view your Up Next playlist. Now, some of these features do require iOS 10.3, so keep that in mind. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been a look at some of the new